So personal credit's automatically happens. Business credit, you have to be intentional. If you don't do it intentionally, it's just not going to happen.
Okay. So I guess it seems weird asking that question without bourbon in front of me, because we love to do that. And I know Blue Couch Studios is here today, as always, helping us grow this podcast and doing all the fine work that they do with us. And he doesn't have any bourbon. I think he's a little bit disappointed, but we're going to leave that aside because we've really got to get into the nuts and bolts of this today. The weather's changing here in Oklahoma. It's getting a little bit warmer. I almost rode my Harley up here today, but last second I said, no, I'll go in the truck. But I was excited about this. I got to be honest with you. I was excited because reading through all of this stuff, and really it's been about 5-6 weeks of research that went into pulling all of this information together so that we could give it to you guys, so that you would be well versed in what it takes to build business credit, and really answer all the questions that might be just settling in the back of your mind. And honestly, Brent, this one's no different. Ellie, I think Ellie was from Tennessee. She said, and this is a normal question. I've heard this, right? We hear a lot of the same, though. There's some fun ones that we're going to get into today. But Ellie said, do I need an LLC or a corporation to even build business credit?
You absolutely need an LLC or a corporation of some kind. As long as there's an EIN number, there can be credit built on it outside of a sole prop. So you have to have the EIN number. Your EIN number and your business address is what the business credit's built on.
That's pretty cut and dry. That's a real black and white answer. It's Ellie. I hope that answers your question. And it's none of these are dumb questions. I want you guys to understand this. We get asked all manner of questions. Some of them, and I might get into a few of them here today, just because they're somewhat fun. But I really want to address the most common questions that we get. Brent, how long have you been doing this with business credit?
3 years now.
What got you into it? I mean, why?
Running a $6 million trucking company. Every time I went to buy something, you figure running a $6 million company, you can do without a personal guarantee. I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And I got tired of that. And I was like, you putting all your personal assets and all the stuff up, collateralizing it. And, I wasn't doing it anymore. And when I actually sold the company, I pulled the credit profile just to see why I wasn't able to access, the credit. And it had a $7,600 credit limit recommendation.
$6 million a year.
Yep.
And you had how much credit?
$7,600.
So then what? You see this and what? You're mad or?
Well, I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I had around $3 million in notes I was paying. I had a fuel card I was paying. I had employees I was paying, and none of that stuff was reflecting. I'd bought a power washer for my fleet, and that power washer was the only thing showing up on my credit profile.